Now here is the standard model of particle physics as we know it, with the matter constituents on the left-hand side, the quarks we've been talking about, the electrons, which you all know, part of the atoms, and the electrons' cousins, the green particles. On the right-hand side, we have the quanta which mediate interactions between these particles, the Z and the W of the weak force, the photon, which we all know and love, and the gluons. And the theory would like all these particles to be massless. However, we all know they are not massless. I mean, we are not massless, unfortunately for some. So something must be there in the background to give these particles mass, and this is symbolized by this gray cloud in the background here with an H on top. So how can the world be so diverse? What is the origin of mass? Now the problem is that to make the standard model work, we need theories which are basically symmetrical. But these symmetries forbid particles to have mass. If you try to put in mass by hand into the theories will collapse, and the standard model no longer works. So somehow the symmetries must be broken in such a way that keeps the good properties of the theory. Now this is where the Mexican hat comes in. And I believe that everyone has seen this picture of the Mexican hat. Now the Mexican hat symbolizes asymmetry. If you think in terms of a hat, you see a hat in front of you, and suppose you had the bag which sits on top in the center of the hat. To you, all the world looks symmetric. All directions are equivalent. However, if you slide down into the valley, then the world is no longer symmetric. There's obviously one direction in which it's easy to move, which is around the center, and there are directions in which it's difficult to move, and it's up and along the brim. And so now we have a situation which was symmetric to begin with, but which is no longer symmetric. Now this Mexican hat symbolizes, illustrates a piece of mathematics that Brout, Englert, and Higgs added into the theory to show that you could have a theory which was inherently symmetric, but where the ground state, the state of the lowest energy, did not display the symmetry. And this is what saved the standard model. Now, the theory made a concrete prediction, namely, one, there should exist a new fundamental particle, and two, all the other particles in nature, the matter particles and the quanta mediating forces, should gain mass through interactions with these particles.